This study traces the nature of goodness, the origin of evil, and the freedom of creatures. It is a doctrinal framework that begins with God's identity, moves through creaturely alignment, and explains how evil arises when the creature departs from God's intention. Goodness is God's nature. He does not possess goodness. He is goodness. Goodness is not an external standard. It is alignment with God's identity. Goodness flows from who God is, not from what God does. Creatures are not good by essence. Their goodness is relational, not inherent. Angels and humans are good only when aligned with God. Creaturely goodness is contingent, and because it is contingent, it can be lost. Freedom is a good gift. It makes love, worship, and obedience meaningful. But freedom includes the possibility of departure. God creates the capacity for good. Creatures create the corruption when they misuse that capacity. Evil is not a substance. It is misalignment with God. It is departure from His identity and intention. Evil is the privation of good, as darkness is the absence of light, and cold is the absence of heat. The deepest layer of evil is the redefinition of goodness. The creature claims moral authority. The creature declares its own definition of good. The creature inverts God's moral order. This is the core of Lucifer's fall, and the core of humanity's fall. Worship is orientation toward God. Evil reverses that orientation. Haughtiness replaces worship. The creature elevates itself over God's word. Lucifer looked inward instead of upward. Adam looked to desire instead of God. Evil rewrites perception, desire, reasoning, moral evaluation, and identity. The creature begins to believe that evil is good, rebellion is freedom, autonomy is wisdom, God's warnings are restrictive, and God's truth is false. Evil changes how the creature sees reality. To embrace evil, the creature must reject God's truth. The creature concludes that God is lying, that His warnings are false, and His definitions are wrong. Lucifer said, "I will ascend." Adam believed, "You will not die." Humanity declares, "Sin is identity." Lucifer and humanity share the same moral architecture. Both were created good. Both were created free. Both were aligned with God. Both were capable of departure. And both fell by redefining goodness, rejecting God's identity, asserting autonomy, and stepping outside His intention. The origin of evil does not compromise God's goodness. God alone is good in essence. Creatures are good only by alignment. Freedom is a good gift. Evil is departure, not creation. Creatures misuse freedom. God is the author of freedom. Creatures are the authors of evil. God's nature is goodness. Creaturely goodness is alignment. Freedom makes good meaningful. Evil is a corruption of good. Evil begins in posture. Evil redefines goodness. Evil treats God as false. Lucifer and humanity share the same architecture. Evil originates in creaturely misuse of freedom. Remain in the goodness of God. Abide in His love. Rest in His unfailing goodness. Let your heart stay turned toward Him, in trust, in surrender, and in the quiet confidence that His goodness does not change. This is the posture that keeps us aligned with Him.